we got the holidays coming up. We have some traveling we're going to be doing. We're going to be bringing some dogs anxiety. It's super real. It's super serious. I've seen dogs die over it. I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years for what we do for anxiety with these dogs when it comes to whether it's transporting them, whether it's the holidays, whether it's fireworks, whether it's being at a dog show, the list goes on. I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to dealing with anxiety with these dogs and keeping them calm during whatever it is that you need to do. All right, so stay tuned. What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educator, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you another episode of Breeders' Hacks. When it comes to anxiety, I'm going to show you guys some of the things that we do here to prevent the dogs from having anxiety attacks or just treating when the dog already has anxiety. First one is CBD, right? It gets a bad rap. Anything under 1,000 milligrams, I don't even bother using. I'll throw it right out. There's very few CBD companies that I'll use. This is being one of them. I like this one a lot because of the flavor. It's like a peanut butter flavor. So they'll just lick it right up. I don't have to fight them on taking it or anything like that. So I give very high dosages. I feel like a lot of the CBD that's out there is super underdosed. And that's why people don't get the results they want out of CBD. So like the 600 milligrams, 500 milligrams, it's not worth it. Go with 1,000 milligrams and up. And even with 1,000 milligrams, sometimes I'll give my dogs, like Mercy, I'll give her maybe even, 1,000, 2,000, maybe even 3,000 milligrams. Basically the same as like the human grade one. So if you're gonna go with like a pet one, like I said, I like this one, the Breeders' Pride one. This one's pretty cool. Just make sure that it's you're getting a strong strength one. I think they do have smaller like strength. Get the strongest one you can get, and then you'll see more of the better results when you give it to the dog, especially for anxiety. If you know that the dog is going to be in a situation where the dog may potentially have anxiety, then give it to the dog, I would say like 15 minutes to a half hour before that dog is like, say, going to a show, or you're gonna take the dog in the car, or whatever the case it may be. That's what I would do. It's worked pretty good for us over the years. I can't complain, like I said, but use a strong dosage. Otherwise, like I said, it probably really won't work for you. And that's why I think CBD gets a really bad rap sometimes. Now, if CBD didn't work or whatever the case may be, or say you're dealing with a dog that already has anxiety and it's getting very bad, one thing that you can use, and you can get your vet to prescribe it to you. You can sometimes get this on websites as well, where you can get like dog meds online. If I could find it, I'll put the link down below. I'll put the link down below for both of these. But acepromazine, right? Acepromazine is a great light sedative. Some people will say trazodone, right? So some vets may prescribe you like a trazodone. If I was the owner, I would try to tell your vet, can you look into acepromazine? Maybe that might be more beneficial for my situation. The reason why is because with trazodone, the issue is you have to build the dog up to get to the same point as giving the acepromazine, at least in my experience. And from what my vet and my reproductive specialists say, trazodone just isn't quite as reliable as acepromazine when it comes to, relaxing the dog and being a light sedative. So acepromazine, you can look up the dosages in the book that I always talk about, or yet again, consult it with your vet. And what's cool about this is you can give it subcutaneously, meaning under the skin. You can give it intramuscularly, or you can give it orally, depending on the one that you have. The one I have, it allows me to do all three. So depending on how the dog is, Wishbone, he does not let me put anything that he doesn't want in his mouth. Like this, he'll lick it up, but something like this, he will not. So this is where, for something like this, I might have to do a subcutaneous shot or an intramuscular shot. But long story short, with acepromazine, will like put the dog right out. Like I had a friend of mine, he had to travel with like 30 or 40 dogs, and the anxiety was real. He was moving his whole yard. And when he used the acepromazine, everybody was chill, relaxed. The dogs didn't even pee or poo in the trailer when he brought them all over here. So acepromazine is very strong. To my knowledge, it's a lot safer than a lot of the other sedatives out there. Like I said, it's a light sedative. So like, yet again, I'll give you another scenario. My friend had a dog that the anxiety was really high and they needed to push back in a prolapse. They gave a little bit, the dog was relaxed enough that they were able to push the prolapse back in. So acepromazine, like, it's strong, but it works really good, and it's great for relaxing the dog and chilling the dog out for whatever the reason is. I have videos on my Instagram of dogs, like Cookie, when we got Cookie, right? She's one of the newer dogs, and she had so much anxiety. If I have a clip, I'll show it to you guys. So much anxiety.
As you can see, we got her here. She has a little bit of anxiety right now. As you can see, it's been about 15 minutes, and the ACE has kicked in.
I was worried for her safety. So it was 4th of July as well. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So we tried some CBD, but her anxiety, she was already too deep into her anxiety. Just hit her with some ACE, made her super relaxed, put her right out. It was for her own safety. So like I said, I've seen dogs die from anxiety attacks and the owner not being able to be proactive or not being able to treat it in time. You know, one of the breeders that had bought a dog off of us, dog had an anxiety attack. He rushed the dog to the vet. His vet was, I think, like 20 minutes, half hour away. By the time he got to the vet, the dog had already died. So being able to address it and deal with it in time can save your dog's life. So I just wanted to show you the two things that we use here. There's one other thing that we used to do for dog shows, particularly. And I mean, like I said, the anxiety is usually all the same thing, whether it's at a dog show, whether it's you're transporting the dog in the car, whether it's fireworks for the holidays. We went to a show, and before we went to the show, we had this dog that he would get super aggressive and want to hump all the females and this and that. And what we did was we did a collection and we pulled them before the show. So when we brought him to the show, it was enough to knock off the edge. We did throw in a little bit of CBD too, but it was enough to knock off the edge where he was just calm and relaxed and did what he needed to do for the show. And he's a champion. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. Drop a comment down below and share your experiences with anxiety when it comes to dogs. What are some tips and tricks that you've used? You know, what's your experience? Have you tried CBD for your dogs? Have you tried acepromazine? Have you tried trazodone? What's your experience when it comes to anxiety with dogs? Maybe somebody else may come down to the comments and learn something for themselves. Or I check the comments every once in a while. I might learn something myself. So as always, guys, I hope this information is helpful. I hope it's useful. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Breeders' Hacks. All right, guys.